Welcome to my weekly video blog for today. This week you might have known, if you have followed me, that I released an emergency blog halfway through the week. Exactly a week ago, last Monday, I fell down the steps near the pine tree in my back garden. And I managed to break one of the bones in my ankle, and for the first few days things were extremely difficult because I was put in a cast and I could only hop around on crutches. I wasn't allowed to put any weight on this cast at all. It wasn't allowed to go down. Since then I went back to the fracture clinic and they took the cast off, which was good, and they fitted me with what's called a rocker, and I don't know how well you can see what's on my leg there. I don't know, but basically it's like a removable cast, I suppose. It's like a splint basically, and it's got a heel that sort of allows me to be able to put this foot down as I'm sort of moving around. So instead of hopping around on crutches, which was doing more harm than good to the rest of me, I'm able to limp, which takes a lot of the pressure off my, my good side, and allows me to put a little bit of pressure onto the bad side. The other good thing about this is that I am allowed to take it off to sleep, which was a concern because, I was unable to sleep most of last week with this cast because I was unable to move. I couldn't turn over, I couldn't do anything. Our focus now, obviously, is to get better. Now, I'm off for at least 3 weeks. That's how long I'm off until the next appointment at the fracture clinic. And so what I'm doing now is slowly I'm just sort of trying to do a little bit more than I did, the day before. That's with moving around and stuff like that. So my main concern this past couple of days, since sort of Thursday, was it? I had to be able to use steps. I had to be able to go up and down steps because there's 13 stairs between here and my bedroom and the loo. There's 4 or 5 steps between here and the aviary, and there's about 10 steps in total from here to the road. That was the most important thing because I can't do any walking anywhere until I can actually get out of the house. So I've spent a lot of time doing that, and I managed to get into the garden, get a seat in the garden and sit down there as well, which is nice. I'm taking my tea and my coffee in a thermos flask because obviously it's not easy. I can't get out and shop at all. People have to do that for me at the moment. The furthest I've been is to the local store in order to get some more tablets, my prescription, my sertraline. And of course I've got the car that's taken me there to do that. But I mean, before, when I was going to the hospital by taxi, I had to get out of here on my hands and knees, basically, and I had to climb those steps with my leg in a cast in the air behind me and knee pads on, so that I could manage, my weight. It was dreadful. It was really, really dreadful, and this doesn't even include the pain. And there's quite a considerable amount of pain. I mean, I am on painkillers, and that is unusual for me. Usually, if I can at all avoid painkillers, I will, because I don't like using them. But there we are. Research, we've been trying to make sure that what we eat is something that will aid bone growth and repair as well. So there's been a little bit of, you know, shuffling between here and the computer to have a look at that. This next week we're going to try walking, and we're not going to go far. You know, we're talking like to the end of the road, and you know, eventually maybe around the block, and you know, that sort of thing. So I have to say that I think what will happen is when I get to the end of this 3 weeks, I still think they will sign me off for a little bit longer, because I think they will then take this cast off, and that's when they shall want me to do sort of physio and actually walk properly on it. So if I can get to the stage where I can basically walk in this cast reasonably well, you know, then when they take it off, my time to recovery then will be much, much quicker. You know. So that's what we're working on this next week, between now and next Monday, is being able to walk around the block, possibly as far as the local shops. There's a shop in that direction not too far, and then of course there's a co-op at the top. But we have to also bear in mind that the terrain around here isn't brilliant. It's not flat at all. So that's, you know... In the meantime, I'm sort of just sat here. I'm trying to do all the things that you would, you know, generally do around the house. And I can sort of do most of them, but it does take me, you know, a whole hour to do something that I would be able to do in about, you know, a minute, because I can't get around, and when I can get around, if I try and do anything, I find that I have no hands to carry anything with the crutches, and if I don't do that, you know, then I'm liable to lose my balance. And of course there's just no way of keeping this leg, you know, there's no place to put it or any direction to hold it in which it will be okay. Sometimes I have it up, sometimes I have it on the ground, you know, and I flip between the two. It's so frustrating. So anyway, I'm trying to keep positive, trying to do as much as I can, and you know, trying to get some order as well to my day, so that I've got a sort of routine. But it is hard. It is very hard, and I'm hoping that this is as hard as it comes. I'm hoping now that slowly over the, you know, next week I'll be able to say, oh, much better, and the week after, much, much better, and, you know, a couple of weeks after that I'll be, yes, everything's normal again. So I appreciate everybody who has, you know, looked after me and asked after me and done various little jobs for me that I can't manage to do myself, because obviously, you know, my family and my close friends have banded around and supported me to make this week as easy as possible, bearing in mind, of course, that they all have their own lives, and my parents, they're moving house next week, so this couldn't have happened at a worse time, really. You know, it's not like they can spend all their time doing jobs for me and ferrying me around or anything like that. So I'm just hopeful, you know, and I've got to stay positive. And so now for the birthdays. We've got Leonard Garcia, Willal Watson, Tina Lewis, who's having a big party, in fact, Jason Shilk, Freddie Asankeo, Manaza Zahir, who I used to know from university, and John Rowntree. That seems to be all there is here. the Facebook has changed things so that I can only see it for a single week, which is slightly annoying, because my weeks tend to run Monday to Monday, not sort of... but never mind. So, happy birthday to everybody, and hopefully I shall be back in action to see everybody shortly.